a dream match scenario is pretty much us booking a fantasy session, or if not a storyline, of a wrestler or two wrestlers, and how they can come together to make a cool event for us to see. Kind of like, seeing like, oh man, I would really love to see Ric Flair go up against a Seth Rollins, but they're both, they're both in their prime and they're both, able to go at each other at a really good rate.
Yeah.
Or seeing, somebody like Brock Lesnar, have a match against somebody like Andre the Giant, because I believe Brock could pick up Andre in F5. But to start out this segment, I'm gonna tell you my dream match scenario. And I remember I got this idea because I was watching Kevin Durant say Team USA again. And that is an Olympic storyline where Vince McMahon is trying to say, we have the best wrestlers on the planet and I have the best wrestler on the planet, aka Kurt Angle walks in and he is just talking all types of mess about every wrestler out there except Kurt Angle. And lo and behold, boom, the scene hits and you hear that music. Bret Hart comes up and he's letting them know that, hey man, I am the greatest wrestler, pretty much the guy. No one can mess with me from year in and year out. I'm still being talked about to this day. And that's how the setup goes. And pretty much we have like a Olympic style wrestling theme going on, because the best thing about Bret Hart is he could have a good match with anybody. And then when you need him to wrestle and be pretty much the best wrestler to ever walk in that ring, he'll do it. And with somebody like Kurt Angle, who's highly athletic, has a great wrestling background and can move very quickly and very nimbly, you're just printing money at that point, man. And it's like, you remember those matches like that Kurt would have with Brock Lesnar or even Chris Benoit from back in the day?
Yeah, for sure.
Remember how quick, how physical, and how many locks and how interesting it looked? They made sleeper holds look interesting. That's how good it was, man.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing, just imagine they were able to do this with Bret and Kurt. Come on. And I can see it now. This whole thing would end either at SummerSlam or you could have this end at WrestleMania, because these two can have a set of classics back to back to back, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like I remember, it's funny, I just recently watched one of the documentaries, I believe the network A&E shot on Bret Hart, and just seeing like Bret Hart, of like how Bret Hart was beloved back in the day. Like some people don't realize how Bret Hart was the guy. He was like the superhero. Man, he was a superhero to people. And not only that, was he a superhero, he was able to relate to people. Like people looked at him not only as a superhero, but like someone they can actually relate to as a person. Bret Hart was that guy, and I think sometimes we forget that because of how his career kind of ended. And then it's just like tragedy after tragedy kept happening. And then Kurt Angle, man,
similar situation. Kurt has like a lot of personal issues. You ever look up how many lawsuits he got to go through, or how many how many bad demons he had to battle? It was like crazy. Kurt Angle's life is nothing more than like a triumph over tragedy, but it's still crazy. And it's like kind of crazy how their careers are kind of similar, but they don't end the same though, at least.
Kind of. Kurt Angle got ended by Baron Corbin. Kind of.
I mean, hey man, if we want to talk about bad wrestlers, Goldberg did end Bret Hart's career, and I still haven't forgiven him.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm sorry, Goldberg. I'm sorry that we did this to you a couple times. Baron Corbin, I'm sorry too, man. I got hope for you still. The people, me, we all got hope still. It's looking rough though. It's looking rough right now. But yeah, that would be a phenomenal match. Kurt Angle, Bret Hart. It would just that's a legendary match. It's obviously, like
Team USA versus Team Canada. I can see the Hart Foundation get into it. Kurt Angle somehow, and getting Brock Lesnar on his team to do some crazy stuff.
Man. Or he brings back Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Oh man, imagine like the stable: Kurt Angle, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, and Brock Lesnar.
Oh man, yeah, it would be legendary. That would for sure be legendary.
I like that, man.
And not only that, I feel like that would be a match that would instantly be given to all like wrestling, like people who's striving to become professional wrestlers. That would be the match to watch. Would be like Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart Now let us study this. Let's break this down, and this is how you should become a professional wrestler. Like that's what I kind of think of when I think of like if they was to have a match, if they were in their prime. Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle would be like legendary.
One last thing though, what I would like for this match to go down, right? It's like I would like them to go overseas or to a different country just to have this match. Make it be like, since the world, we want the world to see it, so we're gonna go to a world stage. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not to say that America doesn't have a lot of ones. I'm just saying like, let's go somewhere where literally we're like in the heart of Europe or somewhere, or like even Japan, where we got like a big old dome where like people from around the world are gonna come to see this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if not, just go to Canada.
Yeah, go to Canada, and then Kurt Angle gets booed straight. You gonna leave so many "you suck" chants, and then Bret Hart will be looked at as the baby face for sure during that time. And then you can switch up the storyline, and then Bret Hart comes to the States, and now Kurt Angle's they probably still boo Kurt Angle and still say he sucked, but at the same time, they'll probably be booing Bret Hart still too, so they both will be getting booed. It'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting rivalry. Oh man. Here's my dream match scenario. Now I thought about this for a little while, and I kind of mentioned this beforehand anytime we talk about wrestling. But this is the people's podcast now, so I gotta let the people know. My dream match scenario would be the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the Mr. WrestleMania. To me, the greatest wrestler of all time. That is Shawn Michaels. When I think of all around, when I think of cutting promos, just the all-around superstar, the all-around best, I say Shawn Michaels. I never got to see Shawn Michaels face the People's Champ, the Brahma Bull, and both of them being in their primes. I haven't seen Shawn Michaels face The Rock. Funny thing is, The Rock is still in tip-top shape. The Rock can still go. The Rock probably about to make a comeback sooner than later. I've heard rumors of him coming back at Survivor Series and whatnot. Shawn Michaels is not in his prime anymore. Shawn Michaels do not have his long hair anymore. So I don't know if we'll ever get that match. But to me, if you gave Shawn Michaels a year to train and he know he was his legacy, this has to do with his legacy. Like he's about to face The Rock at a WrestleMania. I think this will still be possible for them to pull off. Like now, it won't be as good maybe as if both of them were in their prime, but I still feel like it's something that is doable if they both were super committed. Now, here's my storyline behind this. Like The Rock has had so many run-ins with Triple H, which is Shawn Michaels' best friend. Now, you have Shawn Michaels. If we were to do it now, this is how I would kind of go with it. The Rock is he'll have to go back into a rivalry with Triple H. The match we're supposed to get another WrestleMania match with Triple H and The Rock. The Rock goes on to beat Triple H. Now, The Rock is thinking everything is all smooth. Like he can go on, he can go back to Hollywood, or he can go to face Roman Reigns, one of his family members. But no, it's not over yet, Rock, because now you done brought back the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, to give us a once-in-a-lifetime match. The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is fighting for Triple H because you beat Triple H. And then not only that, in The Rock's rivalry with Triple H, The Rock was saying some slick comments about DX here and there, saying slick comments about Shawn Michaels here and there, just from their Attitude Era days. And then now we get the match we all want to see. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. And hopefully during that time period, Shawn Michaels is training intensely. I mean, he's a trainer for NXT, so he can do that still. So it's like he's training intensely. He's training. And now we get the match we all want to see on the grandest stage of them all. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. Tell me your thoughts.
I think that's a very good one. Hopefully they can put whatever happened between them aside, and they can make this match happen. It still can. And man, I really would like to see that match. I would like to see when they're healthy. I would like to see The Rock when he first went Hollywood go up against Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. That'd be like idealistic for me. And I would love to see this happen, but like there's one thing I want to add to that match, right? It's completely unnecessary. We don't have to do it. But I would love to see either Mick Foley or Stone Cold Steve Austin either either be there as in somebody's corner, or if not, be the referee to that match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can even throw Mick Foley in that rivalry for sure. Like, because then it surrounds around DX, and then The Rock. And then you got the Rock and Sock connection, and then you could just throw in Stone Cold in there. Stone Cold has a history with all of them. He has a history with Triple H. He has a history with Shawn Michaels. Of course, he has a history with The Rock and Mick Foley. You could throw it will bring the Attitude Era back. It will be kind of similar to like how when Triple H faced Sting at WrestleMania, and then the NWO came out, the DX came out. It will be like that match will be for all the fans that are now our age or even older that was fans of the Attitude Era. Because then now you can you could dang near even bring back Undertaker. You can bring back everybody from the Attitude Era, because it's all centered around The Rock and Shawn Michaels. The Rock and Shawn Michaels are two of the best of all time, but two of the best from the Attitude Era. And you could bring back all those legends and kind of just have them pick a side. Are you choosing The Rock, or are you choosing Shawn Michaels? And now it's like, you just made us all fans again. You just turned all those adults that love the Attitude Era and turned them back into little kids again. Like, dang, I get to see Shawn Michaels versus The Rock, and you bring back all these legends again. Yeah, I think that's big money. If that ended up happening, I know they watched the People's Podcast. I know they watched it.
Hey man, it's still a good idea, man. We need something to watch, please.
Yeah, for sure. Still an idea.